Going over to the cultural podcast, you have Jaguar, woke, copy nothing commercial, flops with weird non-binary characters, and yeah, getting roasted by Elon and pretty much everyone on social media. Now, it is quite sad because at one point in history, Jaguar used to make some of the most beautiful cars on the planet. I mean, the E-Type from the 60s, I mean, it had the perfect long, unique curvature of the hood, a nice old big engine, stick shift like every car should have by default, and I mean, there are few cars that really stand the test of time, and that original Jaguar, certainly did. In recent decades, they've become very ugly, unreliable, and mostly trash, with about 18 people buying them. I'm kidding. They have 19 customers, but they've been thinking, how can we reinvent ourselves as a business? How can we compete better? And keep in mind, they're doing so bad, they basically paused production this year. They took a year off, which I don't know any successful. Yeah, let me take it back. I don't know any. There has never been a successful company that's done that in the automotive industry. And it's not as if they're taking a year off specifically to retool or shut down factories. It's because they have so much inventory on dealership lots that are not moving. It's terrible. Now they are retooling some of the EV plant, or they're going to be making some new plants for the EVs. But yeah, there's so much inventory. So if you want a good deal, I suppose you have a lot of negotiating power if you were to, I would say I don't recommend this, but I guess you could go to a Jaguar dealership and try to get one of those vehicles. I recommend it because I'm pretty sure a side effect when driving those vehicles is feeling like you're dead inside. But it's certainly an option out there. Now, we'll go ahead and I'll pull up this tweet or post from Jaguar, which in terms of marketing, they at least do pay for the fancy X Banana Falcon trim level. I forget what you call the actual gold check mark, is the business authorization. You pay a little bit more, and in theory, you get seen more on social media. Now, previously, we talked about how they just changed their logo, so it's going to be different. Well, this is even worse. So not only do you see the logo, but here's a commercial that they wanted us all to see. So here's on the screen Jaguar, and they simply say, copy nothing. It's hilariously ironic because it reminds me of pretty much every advertisement I've seen that comes out of San Francisco past 24 months plus, but I partially digress. And I do apologize. This is, as the youth might say, cringe, but it's only about 30 seconds long. We'll get through this together. So already starting with a bad look. If you're only listening on the Spotify or the Apple podcast, you're missing out. So hopefully you're watching on Rumble or maybe YouTube. But yeah, we're starting off with their new bastardized logo, the font. I'll say rudimentary to say the least, ripping off. Again, they say copy nothing, but it reminds me of them ripping off Samsung where they invert one of the letters to look like another letter. It's like Samsung, you have the inverted V to look like the A in their logo. And in this case, they did that with the J. So the J becomes an R. Yeah, but copy nothing, right? Mm-hmm. I thought I could make it past a second. I couldn't. So, yes, a bunch of very creepy looking people. The first is I'm going to guess, a biological female African American woman. Now, she has a fro, but she has it, it's almost as if she was not done downloading. Like she's an Atari 2600 character with a missing pixel because there's a 90-degree angle chopped out of the fro. Also appears, I don't know if she has a chest binder on, or maybe this is a guy. Next to her or him is, or androgynous people. Now, I'm not sure if this is an elevator. Ironically, an elevator would be infinitely more reliable than any Jaguar, but this is not supposed to be a commercial for Otis elevators. And of course, perhaps the only upside of YouTube is they probably strip out the music, so you won't hear the terrible music if there is any, maybe. So, it's also the main, I'm not sure if this is a protagonist, they're going to make a whole series out of these weird things. The main African-American woman or man standing in the front has giant poofy things on its foot, almost as if it's like a poodle. 5 seconds in, it's already cringe overload. And it looks like they're on Mars or something. And yet, so 5 seconds in, still no pictures of the product. What the hell is this? So now it reminds me, what was that, 300, when you had those dancing weird people that thought they were gods? You have one of those in a weird dress. Again, no picture of the product. It says Live Vivid. Okay, is this commercial for being inebriated on drugs? Is this LSD, MSG, banana fat? I don't know what they call it these days, but is it one of those? Now you have they actually do have a white guy. That's unusual in commercials these days. He has shoulder length hair. He's wearing I usually commend men for always suiting up because you always should. but he's wearing a completely red suit. It's not Christmas, it's a little too early. I know it's Thanksgiving, but still, he's wearing an entirely red suit with a cape, a little sus, as I might say. And then he's painting the screen, and the imagery or the text in the weird new font says "Delete ordinary." Uh-huh. Painting the screen. I have another non-binary character who's standing upside down in a room, defying gravity, then coming inverted. Interestingly enough, holding a sledgehammer painted all yellow. Interestingly enough, I do not believe this individual has the muscle capacity or the ability to hold an actual real sledgehammer, so I suspect that it is some type of perhaps a polymer or rubber prop. In this case, this is a non-binary white guy or white individual with a dress, which again, I'm no fashion aficionado, although I do have the best suit around. Just get one suit, that's all you need in life, that's what I say. But a dress where it stops at the chest, then they have almost like it's almost like they just deleted a frame, because then on top it has some type of shoulder thingamajig. They broke the dress, yeah. And it says, the screen says break molds, which they did break dress, that's what they did. And they have short makeup on, of course. I'm pretty sure there's probably there's a ring, of course. Nails, or I don't know what you call it. I forget what you call it when the gals paint on nails on top of nails, or they glue it on there. And then it has short, white, like a fro-ish hair. Oh, it's only 17 seconds in. And they're all sitting outside in Mars, I guess? And they say, it's funny because they're all doing basically the same thing. So now half of them are looking one way and then half of them are looking the other way. And they all look at you at the screen as if none of them are smiling. It's like they're hostages. And then what does it say on the screen now? Copy nothing. It sucks. Jaguar. God, that's the most cringe thing I've seen all year. This makes Bud Light look like a brilliant, intelligent marketing company. I mean, so you don't see the product, which is a controversial idea in marketing in and of itself. Some companies have done it successfully. I personally think it's more often than that is one of the worst things to do in marketing. The number of times it's been successfully executed is so rare. I especially in this case, I would give this commercial an F minus because all this tells me is that Jaguar has become weird. And not in a unique way. Again, they say, it's funny, they say not a copy. This reminds me of every non-binary commercial I've seen in the past 15 years. It does not compel me. It literally tells us nothing about the product. And again, the only thing we know thus far, and spoiler, I think tomorrow they're going to have they'll go review a picture of their bastardized small section of the car that you can see. I mean, we only know, this doesn't even tell us, well, perhaps I'm so overwhelmed with disdain for this commercial. It's so bad, I can barely talk these days, which is saying something because I have my speaking ineptitudes in general. But if you click that subscribe button, it may very well assist with that ineptitudes. When I first started the show, basically no subscribers, and I spoke even faster, stumbling over my words worse than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs. But as I slowly but surely gain subscribers, I've been better at speaking. Yes, it's just a little bit better, but nevertheless, if you could do that, also make my Thanksgiving. Now, getting back to me trying to critique this commercial, literally does not tell us anything about the product. Because again, we know it's going to be a full EV fleet, but that's from previous marketing releases and statements. This doesn't even say that. Though I suppose one could argue that this is similar to many people who drive EVs. I'm only partially kidding. I have a friend or two who drives it. But yeah, this is a pretty bad, both, just looking at it, but also statistically speaking. Now, it did go viral. So I suppose you could argue Jaguar did one thing right. Granted, going viral is not always correlated with sales. The best example of a negative return on investment or ROI in history in the business without going out of business has to be Dylan Mulvaney's Bud Light fiasco, in which Alyssa Heiderchild, the VP of marketing over there, well, formerly perhaps, well, she thought, let's get Dylan Mulvaney, a trans activist, and we'll give him $185,000 for, I believe, his one video and two pictures. That $185,000 investment in Dylan Mulvaney resulted in $1.2 billion of lost Bud Light sales. So that's a great example of bad marketing. Now, this got 132.9 million views. So again, that seems like a lot of views, but the likes is the like ratio is worse than one of my videos. This is, you got 22,000 likes, which even my ratio is not that bad. Some days, usually. And yeah, that's terrible. So 22,000 likes out of 132.9 million views. And one of the first comments comes from, well, I'm a little biased, but I think this individual is quite handsome and brilliant. It's me, hashtag the topping show on X Twitter. And I say, quote, again, my statistic was a little old. I say, quote, 129.4 million views and 21,000 likes. So LOL is 0.01% of people who saw this liked it. Granted, not many people liked that statement, only one person did, but nevertheless, it was a statement. Yeah, the most successful statement is from Elon Musk himself, saying, quote, do you sell cars? Getting 294,000 likes. Now, Jaguar responded saying, yes, we'd love to show you. Join us for, what the heck is this? A cuppa? C-U-P-P-A? In Miami on December 2nd. Warmest regards, Jaguar. I get 10,000 likes. Did Elon respond? I look forward to seeing your new vehicle lineup. Really? Getting 9.1 thousand likes. Someone responded by the name of Anatine Vixen saying, go woke, go broke. Getting 48,000 likes. Whoa. Jaguar responded simply saying, go hard, which, I don't know about that. And someone responded saying, or this is a Minuteman Outfitter says, why is everything British gay now? Getting 17,000 likes. Yeah. Oh, they're certainly unreliable. Oh, there's a famous interview. I forget his name, but there's a famous African-American interview in which he famously asked someone, I'll try his accent, it's fine. My accent might be the worst one ever, but I'll try nevertheless. He goes, why are you gay? And that went viral still going viral years later. And someone's replaced the interviewee with the Jaguar logo, and he's saying, why are you gay? That got 12,000 likes. Well, another top comment is Robbie Starbuck saying, quote, this just made me want to sell my Jaguar, and I don't even own a Jaguar, getting 15,000 likes. Which, not every British, I'm not, and again, a lot of people are saying it's gay in a pejorative sense. I think a much more accurate statement, which I'm surprised I can get accolades for this, I would say, your commercials are now just as effective and reliable as your vehicles. Because, again, they're notoriously unreliable pieces of junk. Kind of like Range Rover, very luxurious, and I believe same Chinese parent company, but notoriously unreliable. I have one friend who has a Range Rover, Land Rover, whatever you call those things. He's the only person who should own one because he actually knows how to fix it himself. That's the only person that should ever own one. Crusader X Bible logo. So it's a cross, a dove, and a Canadian. Interesting. Canadian. Just like someone who believes in God, a freedom lover behind enemy lines in the totalitarian state in Canada. I think I already gave her a follow. I'll give her a follow. There we go. I'll fix that. She says, quote, along with any other businesses along with other businesses that still don't get it, getting 56,000 likes. Jaguar responded saying, hello, thanks for the feedback. We'll be sure to pass it on the team. Getting 30.8 thousand likes. Not Glum31 says, quote, just give us supercharged V8 and new Jaguar XJ that looks like a classic, not this shit. Getting 26,000 likes, which yep. Now, of course, this is when you get really lazy from a social media feedback perspective, or social media. Jaguar simply said, hello, thanks for the feedback. We'll be sure to pass it along to the team. Best wishes. So you know you're getting lazy, just copy paste it. Then again, they're getting thousands of comments on this. However, if you're a Jaguar, if you have the business scale and size of a company that is a major automotive manufacturer, I would argue you should probably have a couple, you could probably get a couple kids that do the social media for you. So it would be a little bit more effort, but to actually articulately respond to all of these comments. Now, I also, another thing, maybe they just don't want controversy. Well, that's a cat's out of the bag, or the Jaguar's out of the bag in that case. But yeah, I'm not sure how they could articulately respond to that. Benevolus says, where's the car? Getting 63,000 likes. And Jaguar simply says, the story is unfolding. Stay tuned. Marie says, I thought you guys made cars. Getting 40,000 likes. Jaguar said, well, we do. All will be revealed. They only got 2.3 thousand likes. But yeah, I mean, in this commercial, at least if they just showed like a quarter panel or just some part of the car, like even just the key of the car, like anything would have been better than this junk. Even those crappy, I guess they're kind of effective, those silly Apple commercials from the 2000s era where it's almost like a cartoon person dancing, and part of the commercial, they were silly, mostly nonsense, but they actually showed the product, and the product stood out because it's a contrasting color scheme. So at least that showed the product. That's kind of close to what this weird stuff is. I also have Jauntry says, this is surely a joke, came 52,000 likes. Jaguar responded saying, it's a pivotal moment. I agree that this is not a good pivot, but it is a pivot. And again, people want fun. Again, there are some people who want EVs, don't get me wrong, but it's also one of the slowest growing categories in automotive. The adoption rate is decreasing dramatically. There's more sales, but that rate is decreasing. And especially some companies, they should never go full EV. I mean, probably one of the best companies that thankfully backpedaled would be something like Aston Martin. They know people want a handcrafted V12 engine. They want the craftsmanship of a gas engine. They don't want a soulless EV, which again, I understand the use cases of EVs, especially if you only live in a city, you don't go too far there, and you don't care about long-term ownership cost. Yeah, there's some instances where it makes sense. Or if you like leasing cars, there are some leases where these companies, the manufacturers, are losing money. It makes sense. There's actually upside. I have one friend who's doing that. But yeah, some cars like especially with his luxury. I mean, yeah, just Jaguar. What are you thinking? Well, I'm trying to see if there's anyone sticking up for this company in the comments here. We haven't seen it thus far, and I'm reading every comment in order, so it's by number of likes as well as who you follow. Now you also have Frederick Wolf says, "Awful, awful ad. Is this supposed to rescue your tarnished brand?" Getting 38,000 likes. Jaguar responds saying, "Quite the opposite. This is the Renaissance." Oh, that's made my Thanksgiving. A Renaissance. No. No. A Renaissance? Hell no. Oh man, it's a no. Absolutely not. You're about to have a Temu Jaguar soon. Jeez. Like people thought again, they've always had some reliability issues. You think they have bad now? They're gonna be even worse when they're an EV company. The Hodge twins simply said, "Gay as hell. Ain't no one buying a Jag after watching this." They got 16,000 likes. As youth might say, they're getting ratioed. Ahmed X says, "Where's the car?" And they have a gif of Ray Charles saying can't see shit, getting 7.2 thousand likes. Ichi Keenan says, "You lost me at 1 second." That was when I commented on the afro with the 90-degree chunk carved out and all the non-binary people. I got 15,000 likes. Oh, thank you. Oh, finally something that is visually beautiful. CJ says, "This clip demonstrates nicely what you've become. You are unburdened by what has been. The below is what you were." And they have a this helps. It's a Jaguar E-Type. Let me maximize that for the screen. Which again, that 1960s piece of craftsmanship, that long curvature of the hood, the spoked rimmed wheels, the knock hubs where I mean, shoot, before you had lug nuts, you knock them off with a lead hammer I mean, and a big old gas engine, pure analog technology. It's if you're not watching a Rumble or the YouTube, you're missing out on this segment or just go to the Brave tab or open up search engine or the Google. Just look Jaguar E-Type. The E-Type is so beautiful. This one is actually, I believe this is it emerald, not emerald, the forest green, which I'm a little biased. I've been liking green cars more and more these days. Love my little green Civic, but yeah, that is what Jaguar was. Beautiful, handcrafted, luxury. And now it's going to be the slowest machine pumped out of China, most likely. Which, yeah. Yeah. So scrolling down, I'm not seeing any. What's this? This is a more modern Jaguar from Huff saying, "Ha, I fixed your terrible ad. It took 2 minutes." They took some AI. They generated a picture with a gas-powered Jaguar and an attractive lady. Very good. Got 13,000 likes. So in 2 minutes, that AI generated picture this person made, they got 13,000 likes. And this only got, the main ad got 22,000 likes. Which, and again, going to the comments, I always debate. Again, it's got more difficult to falsely inflate numbers on X Twitter since Elon started the verification and all that kind of stuff. But it is interesting that, again, got 22,000 likes. We haven't seen a single positive comment. We might have just come across the Chris Christie effect, a fascinating social media phenomenon in which you get 0 positive responses, which when Chris Christie is running for the presidential nominee for Republican Party last time, well, he had 2 instances on social media where he had 0 positive comments from his post, which is statistically impossible because in theory, Chris Christie has family, friends, maybe campaign staff, and yet, yeah, he didn't. There's 2 instances where he got 0 positive feedback. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, this one statement got 13,000 likes. David Santa Clara says, quote, "Do you have to be gay to drive a Jaguar?" Getting 13,000 likes. Let's see here. Andrew Tate says, "This is bullshit. I have 76 cars. I don't own a Jag, and now I never will." Holy cripes. That got 86,000 likes. Wow. Oh, man. A lot of people comparing it to the Paris Olympics. Again, we've been scrolling for a New York minute, and we haven't seen it yet. A lot of people having the keyboard, click the upgrade button, you have the old logo. They see the new logo, and they try to do the backspace button, or it says F go back, getting 10,000 likes for that. Warren Wilhelm says, "Maybe you haven't heard." It's the presidential results of Trump getting 312, Kamala 226. I got 2.7 thousand likes. Here we go. It's a good juxtaposition. What is this? They say copy nothing. They have a picture next to another group of non-binary people. I can't make it out. It says United Colors of Bending. It's basically another commercial. I can't make out the specific logo for that business, but yeah, it's not. They say copy nothing, but I mean, this is the same. Yeah, it's just junk we've seen for years. Let's see. Jaguar sales figures. Yeah, they've been going down from 2018. Yeah, geez. Yeah, let's look at this quick fact really quick. Jaguar annual sales. So in 2018 is 180,000. 2019 is 123,000. 2020 is 102,000. 2021 86,000. 222 61,6. 2023 64,24. So they're not doing great. And pivoting to EVs, again, there's so much competition from. There's already competition for luxury EV, and you have Lucid, you have Tesla, and I can't but think, how is this going to make them any money? Will this turn out? Let me know. Do you think, again, pull those sales figures? Will they make more sales in the next couple of years with the EVs than the previous generation with this new rebranding? Will this get more than 64,241 units sold? That was their total sold in 2023. 2024 year is still almost done. Again, this year is so bad. They still have stuff on. It's almost unfathomable. They took a year off because their dealer lots are overfilled with inventory. No one is buying it. So let me know in the comments, do you think they'll actually have more success as an EV company for Jaguar? Or if someone wants a luxury EV, would they not just buy a Tesla? Or even a Lucid? Or even, if you're one of 18 people who want, you get a Mercedes EV. There are other options. Also, major manufacturers most of them are decreasing their investments in EVs, and they're shifting to hybrids. That's one of the fastest growing categories in automotive in the United States, especially. Not that I'm a fan, me. It doesn't have. I would only get something with 3 pedals, also known as manual transmission. I partially digress, but do you think going to EVs will be a winning business idea for Jaguar? From a cultural perspective, we just saw here. Again, I didn't cherry pick. I went down all the comments in order by who I'm following. And again, it filters it by first who you're following, and then who are you, and then one of the top comments by likes. And I follow a lot of famous people on the left, on the right, in the middle, libertarian, so you can get kind of less of an echo chamber. And again, we're scrolling down more and more and more. I don't see a single positive comment. So if there is a positive comment, that means it got basically no likes. And again, I'm scrolling down more and more and more, and still nothing. Is this a stock ticker? What is this? It says keep up the great work, but yeah, look, now this claims their stock went down. Give me a New York minute. I want to pull up the parent company stock. So Jaguar stock price, because let's see, because they're owned by Tata Motors out of India. That's a parent company behind Range Rover as well as Jaguar, and they own a couple other businesses as well. But let's see here. So it's gonna be Tata. What is it? Tata Motors. Let's see here. So yeah, that's the one they're referencing in the picture there. Now, Tata Motors, when this video came out, market cap, well, the dividend yield, again, not financial advice, pretty abysmal dividend yield. They only give 0.39% dividend. That's terrible. But yeah, in the past 6 months, they're down to 18%. Past month, they're down 12%. And when this news came out, granted, they're not going bankrupt, but it already ticked back up a little bit. But it looks like when this video first posted last week, it went down by 3.51%. Now, this person is actually looking at the month. Yeah, that added up in the month for that screenshot is down 13.43%. But again, that's a month of data. Part of that is because their cars aren't selling, and you're going to have to expenditure a lot of cash and capital to get the new EV manufacturing sites up. So there are a couple other variables. Single variable analysis is rare. Not, you got to be careful with that because there's a lot of things you don't see and can't control. But I do think that's a contributing factor why some people might be moving away from it. But and culturally speaking, this is already backlash. And granted, not everyone is on X. A lot of people are famously leaving the platform. So some argue maybe it's becoming more right-leaning in terms of the total volume of users on X. But to me, I think one of the biggest cultural issues with the latest presidential election was kind of rejecting wokeism, as a lot of people would call it. So I'm even more surprised that Jaguar is leaning into this. And I culturally think they're just going to get roasted on social media for the next, indefinite, maybe 6 months. I mean, Bud Light kind of petered out about 7 to 12 months. after the whole Dylan Mulvaney incident. So I suspect we'll see a similar trajectory of, people making fun of them, especially if they keep posting these weird commercials, and Lord only knows how ugly their vehicles will look. Again, making a beautiful EV is not impossible. Some have been made, but it's few and far in between, especially when you have a long legacy of heritage of making what are beautiful cars, especially with the E-Type, which again, I think that's one of the best cars of all time in terms of design. And here you can see some of the old previous Jaguars where, again, especially, I miss those spoked rims. I know they don't make them anymore in mass volume, but yeah, it used to be, that's probably one of my best ads ever. If you're, yeah, you have, it says a beautiful animal. It's one of the Jaguar E-Types in a field. Now that's a good ad. That's leaning into the pun, or leaning into the fact that they're named after an animal. It's got the nice little foliage around it. The color of the car blends in well with the foliage, but not too much. That's a good ad. And of course, they have a little info scribbled down there and they talk about the speeds and feeds of it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, culturally speaking, I think they just fell flat on their face. And I don't. Let me know in the comments if you think they'll be able to, if they'll stick down this path, or do you think maybe they'll backpedal next couple weeks? Let me know your thoughts are, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. Just let me know what can I do better to make the show more entertaining, better for you. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.